Well, I am an entertainer, and I am from the U.S., originally from Memphis, Tennessee. Grew up there and then moved out to the western part of the U.S. to pursue an entertainment career at the ripe old age of 21. And I've been a performer ever since. I married a Canadian, so that's how I got transplanted from where I was in the U.S. But that is kind of the story, and I'm kind of known for a Stevie Nicks tribute that I do, and I've done that for several years. But I'm an entertainer, a much broader entertainer than that. I recently went to, last summer actually, I can't believe it's been a year already, but I went to Nashville and recorded an album of my own. And so that's kind of what I've been busy with the last year, promoting that and then getting ready for this big show that we're going to do here. It's a little different take on your traditional tribute artist show. It's not just 20 minutes of Stevie Nicks songs and 20 minutes of the next character. We've kind of done taken a theatrical direction with it. So it's almost kind of like a rock musical a little bit, and with tons of classic rock music that everybody knows the hits from Rod Stewart, Stevie Nicks, Mick Jagger, who else? The Stones.
Heart.
Who are you?
I just thought I'd sit in here and say Heart.
Well, and then that's the perfect segue. You mentioned Rod Stewart, and it looks like I'm looking at him myself. So who did you bring with you here, Julie?
Well, his name is Martin Andrew, and he is the co-writer and producer of Dreams of Classic Rock Fantasy. He's kind of my partner in crime in this whole deal, so to speak. And he's come here just to speak on this radio this morning, all the way from Las Vegas, Nevada. Mr. Martin Andrew, say hi.
Hello.
Hi. You're both going to be performing in this show?
Yeah, we're both going to be in the show, absolutely, yeah. And there's a third partner in crime, Johnny Morocco, right?
Yes.
Or Screaming Pheasant, as we call him. But yeah, he's doing the Mick Jagger, and it's all three characters. We were very adamant about that anybody who's portraying a character in this has to be bang on, and he is as well. So they've got that bit covered.
So for you, Martin, you've got a bit of background in this tribute thing as well, then?
Yes, I do. Want to hear about it?
Yes, please.
All right, let's discuss that. I'll do 30 years in 30 seconds. How about that?
Sounds great.
Kicked off in England in the early 80s with rock bands, heavy metal bands and all that stuff. Had a record out, and then that all finished about mid-80s, and I actually came to Canada in 1989 out into Ontario and started touring. Did that for a bunch of years out here, doing the rock circuit. And then one fine day I got approached about doing a theatrical show at Jubilations, and they have one out here in Winnipeg, Celebrations I think it's called. Mm-hmm. So that was in like 2000, 2001. I actually worked with the company for about 3 years, doing some theatrical productions, got the taste for it. During the course of all this, got asked to do a Rod Stewart tribute, actually in Edmonton, Alberta, and I did it there for a little while, and then one thing led to another, ended up going down to Las Vegas with a friend of a friend of a friend who introduced me to another friend, and got hired down there to do the Rod Stewart tribute, which is what I've been doing down there. Julie and I hooked up in Boston, of all places, doing a show, and she told me about this idea she'd had for this particular show with the whole steampunk thing going on and everything else. I got interested in it, and then just more interest generated, and then she came down to my house in Las Vegas, and we sat down and pumped out the script for it, and now here we are getting ready to get this thing on the road.
So let's talk a little more. You kind of touched on it a little bit, Julie. Let's talk about the show itself and this whole musical theater thing we're going to see.
Mm-hmm. Well, like I said, it's tons of classic rock hit, which is what we were hoping will bring people. But there's a lot more than just the classic rock. Like I said, it's a story. The story is of a father's dream, an actual dream, of his daughter becoming a successful, musician in showbiz. And the show, we actually transport the audience into the father's dream. And so it gets pretty crazy in there. It's just a mixture of people coming on, people appearing, people all of a sudden are gone, because that's kind of how a real dream works, right? And so in the interim, we're singing all these songs, and I don't want to give too much about the story. I just want people to know that there is one, that it's more than just the music, but it's dancing, acting, singing, the video that accompanies on the big LED screens that we carry with us is just a visual delight. And again, like we said, the whole steampunk theme, and I know probably everyone out there does not know what steampunk is. And if you don't, I encourage you to Google steampunk images. But it's just like really a nice visual to accompany the music, and it kind of just takes people away from reality for a little bit. And it's just a really cool show visually, you know, to come see and hear and enjoy, kind of take you away for a while and reminisce on all the old songs mainly from the late 70s and 80s era.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's got a very positive story to it, which again, not going to give that away right now, but it's a very positive storyline to it.
Yes, very positive.
Shh, quiet. No, the variety that's in this show, I mean, there really is something for everybody in this, I think. Mm-hmm. And I've noticed that with the whole classic rock genre, when you go and see, again, I relate back to the Rod Stewart thing I just saw the other night, there were people in there, young people in their 20s, watching the show, and there was old dears in there in their 80s, and everything in between. Mm-hmm. And the good thing about what we're doing is with this show is we're covering a lot of music libraries with the Rolling Stones, and with even got Heart in there, we got Rod Stewart music with Stevie Nicks. It's a massive library of songs. So everything that you're going to hear in there, you're going to instantly know it.